Hi guys, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Mike.
This is Disney for Couples, where we talk about all things Disney parks except for family-focused info, because Disney is no place for kids.
No way.
You will hear discussions about date nights, alcohol, and having a leisurely Disney World vacation, but you won't hear talk about the utter mess that is stroller parking or which thrill rides will make your kindergartner cry.
Yeah. Lindsay and I are lifelong Disney Parks fans, and we travel from our home base in New York to Disney World at least twice a year. We also love Disneyland, Disney cruises, and planning our next Disney trip the second anything at home is slightly inconvenient.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, that happens like once per week.
Today we're talking about the Disney World attractions and rides you can totally skip, either because they stink or they're just so kiddie-ish that they're not worth your time, even if there's no line.
We're also going to discuss which Lightning Lane attractions aren't worth a precious booking, even if we think those attractions are worth your time.
All right, let's start off at the only place you should kick off a Disney World vacation, Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom has the most rides of any Disney park. There's around 30 attractions, and a lot of them are super kid-focused.
Right.
Now, when we say kid-focused, let's clarify that from the start. Practically everything in Disney World is appropriate for kids, of course, and many of the attractions we would suggest for adults are on the very kiddie end of the spectrum.
Right. So, for example, Dumbo the Flying Elephant and Mad Tea Party are very youthful rides and mainly attract little kids. But since they're such classic Disney experiences, we think everyone should ride them at least once, so we wouldn't completely rule them out.
Exactly. But for something like the Barnstormer, which is our first not worth it pick, you really, really don't need to spend your time waiting online for this one. It's an extremely mild, kid-friendly coaster, and I'm going to put coaster in quotes because it's pretty lame, frankly.
Ooh.
And it lasts for less than 1 minute. We don't think that this ride adds much at all to a Disney adult vacation, so unless you're dying to experience it for some reason, you can feel totally guilt-free about skipping it. You can also see pretty much the entire ride from the outside, so you don't need to ride it to see what it looks like.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Oh, the Barnstormer.
Yeah, we went on it once, and it was a bad experience, and never again.
I still feel like I'm riding it.
Yeah, I feel like I wasted that. I want that day. I want that money back for that one day.
Right. We're still in the line. Our next don't bother ride is the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, which is over in Adventureland. Not only is this one of those Dumbo-style rides, which means it only has ride vehicles that spin around and go up and down with nothing to look at other than the park around you, but we also can't stand this ride because it makes Adventureland even more narrow and crowded to walk through. Hard pass on this one.
Yeah, this isn't a classic like Dumbo, so there's really no reason to ride it.
Yeah. And while this next one isn't a ride, if you see it on a list of Magic Kingdom attractions, know you can skip it. It's the Casey Jr. Splash and Soak Station, which is just a Dumbo-themed splash area over in the Storybook Circus section. It's cute to look at if you're using the restrooms back there, but otherwise it's cool if you don't get to see it.
Now, these next 3 Magic Kingdom attractions are debatable. Like, literally, we debated them over dinner last night about if we were going to include them or not, but I think they're still worth a mention. The first is the Astro Orbiter, which is another Dumbo-style spinning high-in-the-sky ride. I can't stand this ride. It's a pain to get to. First of all, you have to wait for an elevator. There's 2, and if one of them is down, like it was when we went on it, it just takes forever to get up to the platform where you can actually get on the ride. And the seats are also really uncomfortable, especially if they make 2 adults try to squeeze into one vehicle, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Yeah, some of the older Disney rides, especially ones over in Disneyland, have noticeably tighter seating, and Astro Orbiter is one of them. Ride it if you feel like you need to experience a classic, I guess. It wasn't an opening day ride, but it's been around since 1974. It used to be called Starjets. Otherwise, I'd say skip it.
Yeah, we'll always skip it.
Yeah.
Okay, our next debatable pick is Enchanted Tales with Belle, which is like half attraction and half kind of a princess meet and greet. It's not a ride. It's a storytelling attraction where you get to interact with some Beauty and the Beast set pieces. This is super young child oriented, but if you want to see some interesting animatronics that you won't see anywhere else, check it out. I was really impressed by how smooth the Lumiere animatronic was. This was a long time ago. Paige was little. She was 3 and she's 10 now. So I don't know if the Lumiere animatronic is still that smooth. And she was terrified of the talking wardrobe.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. You don't see those animatronics anywhere else.
And
but
I don't blame her. Talking wardrobes are very scary.
I mean, I'm afraid when our wardrobe talks. So
yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like half and half. Like if you have time and it's not a big deal to go, it might be fun to see, but you're not going to really miss much of anything if you decide not to.
Right. So last for Magic Kingdom is the Prince Charming Regal Carousel. So if anyone knows a little about Walt Disney's backstory, you would probably know that his theme park idea started budding when he was waiting by a carousel for his daughters, and he thought there should be a place where parents and their kids could have fun together. The carousel in Magic Kingdom is a really lovely reminder of that origin story, and it's a gorgeous attraction to have in the park day or night. But other than appreciating it,
or standing by it to watch the fireworks, if you want to avoid the castle crowd, it's a great fireworks viewing spot.
Yeah, so other than that, there really isn't a reason why you have to ride it.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're on to the Lightning Lane not worth it in the Magic Kingdom. So we do suggest that you go on these rides at some point, most of the rides, but do not book a Lightning Lane for them.
No, definitely not. First, to quickly get you up to speed in case you're not very familiar with Lightning Lane, here are the cliff notes. Lightning Lane is Disney World's paid upgrade that gets you onto shorter lines, lightning lanes, as the name would suggest. All the attractions we'll talk about today are part of the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass program, which is where you pay one price and have a selection of attractions you can book. There are also Lightning Lane single passes you can buy, which are designated for the most popular rides. We're not talking about those today.
Yeah, so the way it works is that you buy the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, ideally before your visit, and then you can choose 3 experiences and arrival windows for those experiences based on what's available. Then once you're in the park and you scan in for one of those experiences during your arrival window, which is usually an hour long, you can book another. But booking is based on availability. So if you book a Lightning Lane attraction that for a ride that does not usually have a long line, you've just wasted a slot when you could have booked a more popular attraction. And those popular attractions get booked up fast. So if you don't grab them the day of as your pre-booked ones, run out, you're going to miss the chance. It's not like you can do everything in a day. So we want to help you avoid that.
Yeah. So now that everybody here is past Lightning Lane 101, there are 5 attractions in Magic Kingdom that you should not book. And here they are. It's a Small World, Mad Tea Party, Mickey's Fill Our Magic, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, and the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Okay, and here's why. It's a Small World is a walk-on at night. So wait until the evening and then go right on. Mad Tea Party and Tomorrowland Speedway either always have short lines, or even if the lines look long, they move pretty fast. Do not waste your Lightning Lane there. And Mickey's Fill Magic and the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor show are shows, and you usually only have to wait until the next showing to get a seat. So Lightning Lane isn't really going to speed that up for you. You have to wait through the showing anyway.
Right.
So for these 5 attractions, bothering with a Lightning Lane is going to eat up a slot that you could use for something else, and it's not going to get you very far.
Right. So that's MK, and now we're on to my favorite park, EPCOT. Spells Epcot. This is known as the adults park, basically. So there really isn't much here that we recommend you skip, but there is one ride that we want you to save the trouble of going on, and that's the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Ugh. It makes
Terrible.
me feel upset thinking about it.
So bad.
It's the worst. This is a Finding Nemo themed dark ride with the world's longest, darkest queue, and even though there's never a line, you can just walk right on. It's not worth it. The ride is oversimplistic. Half of it's just screens. I feel like most of the time it looks broken. Like there are some animatronics, but they look broken.
Everything looks like a placeholder.
Yeah,
like when they have the placeholder animations, when something is broken, that's what that whole ride feels like.
So like unless you're desperate to get out of the heat and you're right next to it, don't bother. Even under those circumstances, maybe don't bother.
Yeah, maybe duck in somewhere. Go into the aquarium. The aquarium's right there.
Manatees.
We love it there. Yeah, we are not fans of the Nemo ride, and frankly, Nemo deserves better.
He does.
I have a debatable pick for Epcot, which, take it or leave it, and it's Mission Space. So I actually really love the exterior and the interior of this building. I think the exterior is just so cool looking, and whenever we see stuff on YouTube inside and I'm always like, what is that building? It's always Mission Space. I just love it. But I have not gone on it since I was a teenager, and I'm willing to bet if I double checked with my cousin, I regretted it back then, and have never been on it since. So it's not a bad ride, but it's one of those space simulation rides that spin like crazy and can make you super nauseous. If you grew up going to like carnivals, usually they would have one of those like spinning rides that you could go on and you could like climb up the walls. It's like that. You're strapped in. But that's the kind of ride it is. It's not
janky.
It's not a mad tea party style spinning ride. It's like a you will ruin your day spinning ride.
Jank done right.
So there is a version of it that doesn't spin. It's called the Green Mission. The Orange Mission is the one that spins. But you went on the Green Mission you thought it was a dud.
Yeah, I went on the Green Mission twice. I went once with your dad, and then I went once with Andy and Paige when we went on the family trip.
That's because I begged everybody to not go on the orange one because I didn't want anybody to have like vertigo for the whole trip or something.
It's so it's just boring. It's dated at this point. I think that ride opened in like 2004, 2005. So a lot of the visuals like on screen are pretty dated. The effects are kind of dated, and you're crammed into like I don't know, some kind of space vessel, and someone's a pilot, someone's like a navigator.
I'm already bored. I can't even like pay attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we're not saying don't do this ride. It's not worth it for any Disney adult. But if you're like iffy about this type of intense spinning ride and you don't care about the less intense non-spinning version, just don't go on it. You're really not like missing much. You're not missing a standard Disney ride. I wouldn't say that this is like everybody should go on this. This is so Disney.
No,
you'll be fine.
Yeah. So there are a few non-ride attractions in Epcot we think you'll be fine without. In the France Pavilion, there's a Beauty and the Beast sing-along film you can skip, but there is also a more adult-focused film over there called Impressions de France to check out. Also, in the World Showcase, you can obviously skip the KidCot fun stops, although I might not want to.
I know. Every now and then I'm like, ooh, I like what they're
hunt.
Making. Well, the next one is a scavenger hunt.
And unless you're looking for something different to do, you probably don't need to do the DuckTales World Showcase Adventure Treasure Hunt. But damn it, you can, and maybe you should.
Yeah, I mean, you totally can. But like, I think of adults going to Disney who haven't been to Disney in a long time or ever, or haven't been there without kids, and just seeing like a list of everything to do in the parks and like thinking they have to do all of these things. So, I think it's helpful to be like, just cross this one off. Like, you're never going to do it all. And This is the one we want you to pluck out and not worry about. So in Epcot proper, so we're not in the World Showcase anymore, you do not need to visit Bruce's Shark World or Turtle Talk with Crush, which are both in the same pavilion as the Nemo ride. These are like very young experiences. Mm-hmm. No need to check them out.
Cool. All right. Now for the Do Not Waste Your Lightning Lane attractions. Honestly, some of these feel like a trick from Disney because there is zero reason to even have lightning lanes for them, especially when it comes to the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, which we love and we highly recommend, but the only wait is for the next show. So a lightning lane won't do anything for you anyway.
Yeah, this is so easy to miss that, like, because there's never a line outside, you would, if you don't really know where it is, you're not looking for it, you'll walk right by it. All the waiting is inside. There's like nothing to it. And you know, sometimes I feel like Disney just wanted to say like, hey, we have like this many lightning lane attractions, but really you can just like immediately take 5 off the list. They're just like not important. So in addition to the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, do not make a lightning lane for that. We also don't suggest getting a lightning lane for Journey into Imagination with Figment, Living with the Land, the Nemo ride, as we said, or Turtle Talk with Crush, as we said. Both of those, we don't suggest you go on them, but even if you want to, you don't need a lightning lane for them. Mm-hmm. So Imagination, which is the Figment ride, Living with the Land, and Nemo are always walk-ons, or they have very short waits. Like, I think one time we waited 5 minutes for Imagination. There were like 2 people in front of us.
It must have been a very busy
and
day.
It was a big deal.
Epcot.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And again, Turtle Talk's a show. You're probably just going to wait until like your turn.
Yeah. The only exception is during the holiday season, Living with the Land does a holiday overlay, and that can get very, very busy. So you may want to introduce Lightning Lane at that time of year.
Yeah. All right. Little pause. We have an Epcot trivia section for Mike before we move on to Hollywood Studios.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So there are 6 art galleries in the World Showcase. I'm going to tell you the name of each one, and you have to tell me like what country pavilion it's located in.
I was born for this.
And if the country name is in the name of the gallery, I'm going to say like blank as a placeholder.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Number 1, blank Heritage Gallery.
America?
Yes.
Cool.
It's the American Heritage Gallery.
All right.
The American Pavilion is not called America.
It's called the American Adventure, right?
Yeah, the American, yes.
Yeah.
The American Adventure, the America Adventure.
It's
American
the name.
Adventure.
Yeah, so the name of the pavilion is the name of the attraction.
I see.
Yeah.
Good attraction.
Oh, yes.
Okay, number 2. Bijutsu Kan Gallery.
Japan.
Yeah, that was a
little easy. Yep.
The Gallery of Arts and History.
UK?
Nope.
Canada?
Nope. You get 2 more.
Okay.
I know, it's so basic.
Say it again.
The Gallery of Arts and History. We have never even seen, we didn't even
China?
know this was there. No.
No. Morocco?
Yeah.
Okay.
You totally got it.
Oh, yes. Did you hear the conviction in that one?
Okay. The House of the Whispering Willows.
China?
Blank Folk Art Gallery.
Canada?
No. You want a hint?
Yeah.
We've been there many, many times. You have no choice but to walk through it if you're going into the pavilion.
Is it like into the pavilion?
Yeah. Like into the inside part of the pavilion.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the Mexico Folk Art Gallery.
I didn't do too bad.
No, there's one more.
Oh, I have another chance.
Yeah. The Stave Church Gallery.
Canada?
No.
The UK?
No. You really want there to be a gallery in Canada. Canadians, listen up.
Canada.
For anybody who thinks we're just making fun of Canada, that's the impression of the Miss World girls announcing their countries. Canada. Stave Church Gallery.
Stave. Germany?
No.
All right. What is it?
Norway.
I forgot Norway was even an option.
I know. It is. And I want to go to these. I didn't even know. I knew the Japan one. We've been there.
Yeah.
Maybe the America Heritage Gallery or the American Heritage Gallery. Maybe that's what what would it be?
Like a history of fast food.
What is it like in the American Adventure? I haven't spent much time in that building.
I can't really picture it. I want to say that it's like near the bathrooms. You know what I'm? No, I'm serious. Like when you're at the pavilion.
Oh, I know what you mean.
And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
over to the right and the back. I think that there's something over there.
They just wedged it back with
it's
the bathroom.
in the bathroom.
It is the bathroom.
Right.
Okay. Well, good-ish job.
Thanks.
You did it. We're done now.
I'll settle for good-ish.
Okay. All right. We're on to Hollywood Studios. So if Epcot is like the adult park, then Hollywood Studios is the adult ride park. Just about everything here is worth it. And it has a long wait, which makes Lightning Lanes worth it too. A lot of thrill rides in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
So even if we vow to go Lightning Lane free on a trip, which we do more often than not,
right,
we almost always make a one-day exception for Hollywood Studios because it can be such a pain to wait on these lines. Like I said, it's like every ride is an e-ticket ride. The lines are long everywhere.
And it can be a crapshoot if you don't go in there without Lightning Lane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you may get lucky and have a day where you can do 6 things. You may have a day where you barely can do 1 thing.
Right.
Yeah. So the one ride we think you can live without completely, though, is Alien Swirling Saucers. This is one of those sit in a vehicle and spin it in circles rides, but without the charm of something like Mad Tea Party. Plus, this is an outdoor ride in Toy Story Land, which can be notoriously hot and busy, so it's not an attraction you jump on for a break or any air conditioning.
Yeah. That is a hot part of the park.
Oh, yeah.
I love Toy Story Land, but my God, it's like they turned the heat up when you walk there. You can also totally skip Beauty and the Beast live on stage. So a lot of the character shows in Disney World and the parades, they're designed for kids, but adults still love them. I love the parades. But this one, the Beauty and the Beast live on stage show in Hollywood Studios, is more childish than you probably want. And it's just really not worth the effort. It's outdoors. It's not a good cool down show either. And on a similar note, you can probably be fine skipping First Time in Forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration, unless you're like an adult who's super into the Frozen soundtrack, which
like me,
which neither one of us are.
All right. So there are 5 Lightning Lane experiences here that you should not book, especially since this park has some of the most popular rides and longest lines in Disney World. So the attractions not worth the Lightning Lane are as follows: the Beauty and the Beast stage show and the Frozen sing-along that Lindsay just mentioned, the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, the Little Mermaid A Musical Adventure stage show, and Star Tours, the ride.
So when it comes to the shows, as we've said already, you're typically waiting for the next showing, and that's it. The theaters are big, kind of like everywhere, especially that Beauty and the Beast theater is huge. So you just don't need a Lightning Lane. The exception is Festival of the Lion King at Animal Kingdom because that gets packed. On top of that, Star Tours in Disney World is either always a walk-on or it has a very short line. This is one of the big differences between Disney World and Disneyland rides because in Disneyland, Star Tours is much more popular.
Yeah. It's also not, I wouldn't say it's tucked away at Hollywood Studios, but it's most certainly featured as a tentpole attraction at Disneyland.
Is it?
Yeah, when you're coming off of the hub and spoke and you're going into Tomorrowland, I think it's the first attraction on the right.
Oh, I remember going on it. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think another reason why, because you would think that so Star Tours has been there for a long time. That's a ride I went on my whole life is, from when I was a kid. But you would think that with Galaxy's Edge being introduced, that Star Tours would have had new life.
Like a resurgence.
But it's not in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
There was no way to do it. It's on the other part of Muppets Courtyard, which is going to be Monstropolis.
Right.
It's on the other side of that. So
and there's no way you're gonna drag that Star Wars
the
fans,
AT-AT?
the AT-AT or AT-AT, I'm never sure which. But there's no way you're gonna drag that prop plus the whole ride into a completely different land.
I bet if they had figured out a way to get Star Tours into Galaxy's Edge or to build Galaxy's Edge around Star Tours, I bet that ride would have a much longer wait time because it would be like a people eater because the only 2 attractions in Galaxy's Edge are very, very popular.
Right.
So
yeah, that's
but
true.
I kind of like that it's not. It's always like when you're just walking around Hollywood Studios, you can always say, "You want to go on Star Tours?"
It is the new Muppet Vision 3D until they knock down Star Tours.
And the nice thing about Star Tours is that there's several different like simulations you could get. So you could go on it 3 times in a day and get different simulations every time.
Right. I want to make a bet with you.
What's that?
That in less than 10 years, they will have demolished or repurposed Star Tours
You're killing me.
to be a DVC lounge.
No. Oh my God.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, and I'm upset.
Yeah. Okay, so we touched on Animal Kingdom, but basically there's not much here we wouldn't recommend, and we also don't have hard no's when it comes to not getting a lightning lane. It's worth mentioning that Expedition Everest ride times fluctuate a lot, so even if you see that there's a long wait, keep an eye on it because the wait time might drop. And we've walked on that ride numerous times at, goodness, like any part of the day.
Yeah, we've ridden that like 3 times in a row because there was
Yes.
no wait. That's
Yeah.
Full disclosure, we are the least familiar with Animal Kingdom, and even when I like look at my list of like the rides and attractions and experiences there, nothing jumps out at me as not being worth it for adults or to book a lightning lane. Maybe we'll circle back to this in the future if we get more insight into Animal Kingdom. And P.S., I'm putting together a master principal list with all of this information. So kind of like keep an eye out for that. You can always check DisneyForCouples.com for stuff like that.
I will keep an eye out for it.
You keep an eye out for it. Well, I'll
will.
just tell you. I'll just turn around in our office and tell you.
Yeah. So that's it. Of course, if you want to go on any of the rides we claim aren't worth it, by all means, don't listen to us. Just go do it. But if you're, if you're
well,
like...
I mean, listen to us.
You don't even
listen
have to
to
do
the
that.
pod. No, listen to the pod.
Listen to Lindsay.
Stop turning away our 15 listeners.
Right. But if you're just trying to complete like a list and you're worried that you're going to skip over something meaningful, you have our permission to totally ignore like the lesser attractions.
Yeah. And when it comes to lightning lane specifically, a little extra thought is really needed because it's a pricey upgrade and you don't want to waste it. And on that note, we're also putting together a big old lightning lane for Disney adults guide. So keep an eye out for that too. So thanks so much for listening, guys.
Thank you. Yes. Check out DisneyForCouples.com for articles, downloads, more. You can also shop for Disney Parks themed waterproof stickers at, here it is, magicalstickershop.com or on Etsy at Magical Sticker Store.
Yep. And if you want to leave us a rating or review, we would be extremely grateful. And if you have comments, questions, criticisms, whatever, get in touch at hello@disneyforcouples.com. And remember to stay young at heart like Walt would want.
Bye, guys.
Bye.